Tonight, this show ends its first season how it began. I'm Nicolo Manzo in for John Ferraro. The Season 1 finale of Beyond the Arch starts right now. She earned her B.A. in Health and Physical Education from Marywood in 1979 and obtained her M.A. in Exercise Physiology and Sports Medicine from the University of Maryland in 1981. In her 27 years as Director of Athletics and Recreation, she has overseen the expansion of athletic and recreation programs to 20, with men's and women's rugby to be added next fall. Additionally, she has overseen the university's athletic facilities expand, with both the Center of Athletics and Wellness and Aquatic Center, which broke ground during her tenure. Tonight, I ask her some big-picture questions for the athletics program moving forward. I go one-on-one with Dr. Mary Jo Gunning. Next.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the eye.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
So who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Welcome back. I am pleased to be joined by Director of Athletics and Recreation, Dr. Mary Jo Gunning. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Gunning.
Thank you for having me, Nicolo.
Absolutely. Now, I would actually like to start off where you and John left off last time you were on the program, talking a lot about the incoming, highly anticipated rugby program. So, if you can, could you tell us what kind of progress you've seen with the program since last time here?
Most certainly. It's very timely, too. Week this Saturday, December 9th, will be our preview day. And that will bring in many potential freshmen for both the women and the men. And right now our numbers for that look excellent. One of the areas that our coach, John, is doing a great job is recruiting.
Well, that's excellent then. Are there any concerns early on, or is everything just falling right into place?
That's always an interesting question. I've had the privilege of starting 18 sports now. I had to think how many. And, you know, there's always concerns. But I think if you take proper preparation and you dot your I's, you'll find success. Always the concern is that we have enough recruits, and I think we're doing the job there. The other concern is making sure that the campus is aware of what rugby is. Certain sports have different reputations, and rugby can be known as a sort of a little bit of a wild sport, and it truly isn't. It truly is a very organized sport. Although it's a physical sport, it's done in a safe context. So we're working on both of those areas.
Now, briefly going back to the recruits, do you have a number on the combined men's and women's team right now?
I have our ideal number. Would you like me to share that?
Sure.
At minimum, at very minimum, we're looking at 15 and 15.
Okay.
And they would ideally be new individuals coming in that are here because they heard about rugby as well as our quality academic program.
Absolutely.
That
Now,
would be our minimum.
so sort of switching gears a little bit here, maybe something that isn't as big of a hot button issue in the community, but that is a big deal, I'm sure, for you and many people on campus, the Turf Field Challenge Grant. Now, we know that it sits at 70%. So what is your confidence level like right now that the other 30% is going to arrive?
Well, interesting. 31 days in December. We're almost there. We're at 35. So we've got to reach it. We have to reach it. And I think it's a very worthy goal. And I would just encourage anyone out there, everything matters, whether it's $1, whether it's $5, whether it's $1,000, please consider. And Sister Mary has given the challenge to all of us. So we're working hard, and I'm confident.
Well, what does it say? Because I know Marywood preaches community a lot here. That's one of the things that I think attracts people to come here, partially attracted me to come here. So what does it say about the community that they raise as much money as they already did in support of this?
I think it goes to show, to me, the backbone of Marywood. That's our mission. That's our sense of community. That's our pulling together in the good times and the bad times. And I'm really elated. 70% is awesome. And we still have a month to go. So I think it reflects positively on what we're all about and what you're part of.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. Now, this semester, I'm sure you were thrilled to see how well some of the athletes did and the teams did. Now, the cross-country team just recently swept, both men's and women's. So what does that mean? What did you think when that happened?
Well, one of the things that was really special is that we sent someone to the NCAAs. And so I'll start from there and move towards the succession. We have sent other individuals to the NCAA championship, but they have been, which is awesome, females, as well as once we had a complete team go. I think for our women, and I'm not sure of our stats, but I think, oh my goodness, I think we've now had about 13 championships. And on our men, and I was there that day, and it was fantastic to see both of them, and particularly the men, because they had never captured it before. So they're a dominant team, both the women and the men. One of the positives is many of those runners also go right into our track and field program. And if I may say, this is the first year that we are officially sponsoring indoor track and field. So that's a real feather in Coach Ethan's cap.
Now, you talked about Coach Senecal. So what are your thoughts on him, what he's done with the program?
He's exceeded expectations. And I think he does that because he sets his own personal goals high. He also has, it takes more than one individual. He's the catalyst, but he has an excellent, and I really mean excellent, part-time coaching staff. Kevin Borelli, he's won Steamtown several times. I know it, I think at least 3. And he's his assistant. We have Coach Peter Davenport, volunteer. They're just a great team together. And Ethan does an awesome job of recruiting.
Well, I have much more to talk about with Dr. Gunning right after this.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again?
Yep.
Mix beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika with the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it?
Got it.
Throw in the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Thank you for staying with us as our conversation continues. We're here with Dr. Mary Jo Gunning. So, Dr. Gunning, we were talking about cross country before the break, and I want to go back to that briefly. If you could talk about one of the runners, David Haynes, and what kind of a year he had this year for the Pacers.
And he's the gentleman I referred to that went and represented Marywood at the NCAA Division III championships in Illinois, which is phenomenal. And for those that don't know the sport of cross country, it's very few that go, and it's a very large field. I think one of the most exciting things is that David's only a freshman. And to, if I remember correctly, I think he was in the top 9 freshmen in the nation. And that is incredible, really incredible. I also think it's interesting that David's sister is a coach for one of our competitors, and his other sister runs for a different competitor. So it's I feel very fortunate that he decided to come to Marywood. And just real quickly, as good a runner as he is, I think the ethics and quality of him as a person even exceeds that running ability, and that's what's important.
Is it any nicer that a team like cross-country sport that maybe doesn't get the attention that a basketball gets or a baseball gets? Is that a little nicer that they were able to achieve this?
Absolutely. I often think when you look at our span of sports, and it's part of society, certain sports really garner, particularly in our area of Northeast Pennsylvania, a lot of press and a lot of spectators. And basketball's one, not that it's not deserving, but cross country is often the unsung heroes. And it's just really good to see them also get recognition. And I was also very pleased that we got tremendous print in the newspaper too on it. Well deserving.
So now switching over to women's soccer, because they had another great year.
They did.
So what are your thoughts on the team and Coach Smith? And
They did. Coach Smith, Andrew, has consistently had championship teams, and he also does a phenomenal job of recruiting and retention. It was hard this year. We were the #1 seed, and we went down to a game, and there was a and I'm not going to pass judgment. I mean, because sports are all about humanality too, and we had a very questionable goal, and that was hard, but a good learning experience for everyone. And isn't that what sports should be in life? Andrew then went on with our team to ECACs and did a good job in first round, and then fell to Springfield. But they had a great year. They had a really great year, and and he's not losing a lot of seniors, and I think he'll get right back to where he was and even exceed it next year.
With a team like women's soccer, do you find that it's fairly easy to retain the athletes when they reach a certain level of performance?
Yes. We're lucky, though. Quite frankly, when you look at all of our sports and over 350 student athletes, our retention rate is extremely high. And it's our graduation rate, and graduating within 4 or 5 years is higher than non-student athletes. So, and that's really, in my opinion, the result of two things, and that is Marywood itself and the quality education and the faculty members. They're key in retention. And I also think our coaches, we're very fortunate that we have good coaches who know their sport, and perhaps in my book, even more importantly, they care.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our student athletes can see that.
Now the volleyball team had a good year as well, so they kind of turned things around. What were your thoughts on the volleyball team?
Well, that when you think about it, our interim head coach, Carissa, was only hired, maybe a week or two before the season. She was an assistant and elevated to the interim head, and I'm hopeful that interim title will be removed soon. I think she did a great job. She didn't get an assistant coach until about 3 weeks into the season. I think the team wanted to be successful, wanted her to be successful, weren't afraid to tell the coach what they thought could be better, and she was very importantly willing to listen, and they had a really great year. And I think that'll also be built upon.
Is there a search on for a coach, or are you committed to removing the interim?
Well, to be determined, but I would say the latter is definitely more reflective of my decision. But
Okay.
I have not talked to the coach yet.
All right, now men's basketball, they're off to a pretty good start this season. They've won, I think, 3 of their 4 games to start. They just came off the cross-county challenge, which was a pretty impressive showing for them. How pleased were you to see that come to Marywood?
And the fact that, not that I wish anyone bad, but the University of Scranton lost to Wilkes was an extra feather in our cap, that we actually were able to emerge as the champions, because oftentimes in a challenge there isn't a champion. I'm very pleased for them, and I'm really excited for the coaches and the players. And I think you can see the new recruits definitely will make a difference.
I asked Dr. Gunning some final questions next.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, butt in the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to the season finale of Beyond the Arch. So I am joined one final time by Dr. Mary Jo Gunning. Now, Dr. Gunning, I have to ask that there was a report in the Times-Tribune. I remember reading it myself. I think it was on the cover of the sports page about Marywood possibly switching conferences, joining with, I believe it was 5 other schools, thinking about leaving the CSAC. So is there any validity to that report?
Yes, I can set the record straight. And a challenging decision.
Mm-hmm.
I had the privilege 25 years ago of starting the conference. And now 25 years later, I've been one of the players in deciding to leave the conference. The CSAC has been very good home for Marywood. It was known as the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference, and we rebonded about 10 years ago. However, in the conference, we have consistently emerged as first or second or third at least out of 12 schools. When 4 of the top competitors were leaving and invited us to go, that gave us a path that we had to follow. So yes, we will be, we are forming a new conference. Not an easy decision, but a decision that I feel I needed to be a major player in to do what's best for Marywood, regardless of any emotions that are tied to it. What is best for Marywood student athletes now and 5 years from now. I'm happy to say that we just decided on a name, and I don't know if I should quite release that at this time. I don't know if it's public, but we do have a name, and there will be 4 of the CSAC schools: Cabrini, Newman, Immaculata, Gwynedd, and ourselves, as well as Wesley, and they were in the PAC years ago, and Marymount. We are hopeful that a few other schools will be joining us probably in a year or 2. So it's exciting. It's not easy, but it's exciting.
So going off your response there, I think it's fair to say level of competition was one of the main concerns you have in making this. So do you feel, was this something you wanted to do, or do you feel as though your hand was a little forced almost in the decision?
I feel sometimes in life decisions can offer an opportunity, and I wouldn't say forced. I looked at it as an opportunity. I suppose a better question would be to say, what if we stayed exactly where we were? The CSAC was a very good fit for us, except that there was a distinct difference between schools here and schools at the bottom of. So I think the schools that we will be aligned with are very much like Marywood, similar missions, similar tuition, similar academic prowess, similar mission, and we share in, we're very fortunate that our president and our cabinet is extremely supportive of athletics and sees the value of athletics to an institution, and those institutions that will be in this new conference with share that. Not that the other institutions don't, but they don't have all the fiscal resources that Marywood has enjoyed.
So
and facilities.
So how is this move going to benefit the student athletes?
It's going to benefit the student athletes, I think, in many different ways, but 2 major ways. First of all, it's going to challenge our student athletes, and I think it's more important to win against a competitor that is of equal support or value than being the top of a heap that might not be at the same level. And we also will be competing against schools and student athletes that share the same mission and resources as us. Secondly, It will also benefit the university because we'll be opening up different areas in terms of recruitment. I think the student athlete themselves, student athletes want a good competitive experience. They want to be proud of their achievements. They want to be challenged. And I think that will be enhanced. It was always good, but I think it'll be at a different level. But change is hard, Nicolo.
Mhm.
You know,
I
and
understand.
with change, there's always some adjustments and challenges, and we'll go through those. And that's okay,
Mhm.
because 25 years ago, we went through
Mhm.
changes too.
Now, financially, is this going to cost the school any additional money?
I think in terms of for scheduling and uniforms and everything, no. In terms of dues and generally to get started, it will probably cost more in the beginning, and then it will even out. Because when you start a new conference, you have to pay incorporation fees, etc. We'll have to rebrand. We'll have to change banners. So obviously, there's going to be more initial cost.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gunning. When we come back, I take a look back at Season 1 and make a sign-off for Season 1. Don't go anywhere.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Beyond the Arch would like to thank Dr. Gunning for coming tonight. The show would also like to thank you for watching. Head over to TV-Marywood's official YouTube page to watch full episodes of the show. Be sure to follow TV-Marywood on Twitter and like us on Facebook. We would like to thank all of you for your support this semester. Without it, we wouldn't have had such a successful first season. We would also like to thank every athlete, coach, and administrator who took time to do this show. And finally, on behalf of John Ferraro, I would like to thank the wonderful crew for putting up with John this semester. This show wouldn't be possible without their time, effort, and dedication. As we sign off one last time, we take one final look back at Season 1. From everyone at TV-Marywood, have a great night.
My goal would be to have a cohesive program with adequate squad in the first 2 to 3 years. I think you can start to see success, and notice I say start, by the 4th year.
Everybody has their own philosophy, but we all kind of share in the game the same way.
Just spoke with your coach. We're going to get into this season in a few minutes, but I want to start with how you guys, each of you, got into basketball. When was the first time you picked up a basketball? Who was your influence? And what about your educational side as well, or was it primarily basketball first and foremost?
It was pretty much basketball.
just me racing against 5 other guys. I lost the race horribly. Ever since that first race, there hasn't been a race where I've gotten any slower. I've only gotten better.
I'm an advocate of body love and self-love and all of this, especially on a social media platform. So a lot of people have reached out to me in that regard, and I've been able to help them along with that journey at least. So I guess it's just another song clarifying that you are worth something spectacular.
No one else is like you. No one can be you. No one has the same gifts and talents that you do.
It would help me give back to like people who were in my position, so I just want to help out, and like I'm not ready to like let sports go out of my life, so I figured like athletic training is really like patient specific, so I'd work with athletes like high school, college, like professional teams if possible. Wow.
It's like, I don't have time, Alex. I don't have time.